Welcome to our presentation. This is the fourth part of a series of introductory videos to the searchxml database. We are talking about interfaces today. The tutorial is divided into two parts. In the first part, we explain the theoretical fundamentals of our interfaces. In the second part, we show practical applications. The searchxml cloud server is the center of a system to which the services are placed. Each solution provides a different number and combination of services. All services can be accessed via the HTTP, HTTPS, and SOAP protocols. Communication via HTTP allows access via any device with internet access. SOAP is used to integrate searchxml functions into programs. A service is identified by its name. Multiple services with the same name are possible as long as the right system assigns them to different users. Each service provides any number of functions. As with the service, function names need not to be unique. Functions of the same name can be assigned to different users or user groups. Each function can handle any number of parameters. Parameters are passed as name-value pairs. The names of the parameters must be unique within the function. As an example, let's assume that a service called mail was started. The service provides the send and receive functions. We pass the parameters with the name's address and text to the send function. The receive function gets the address parameter. Requests can be called outside or within a session. In the first case, we call it stateless. In the second case, stateful. A session is created by calling the login function from a session service. Through the session, the request receives certain properties, such as the rights assigned to the user, his language or other parameters, which are provided by the user management. The result of a searchxml request is always an XML document, which is structured according to a defined schema. In the case of browser-based applications, the request is forwarded to a so-called presentation. This is usually an XSLT style sheet, which generates an HTML output from the XML return. This can then contain requests for other services and functions. The presentation of a function can be configured via the admin client. A request can also be called while avoiding the presentation step. This is always achieved by giving the presentation equals false parameter to the request. No theory without practice. If we know the services and their functions, we can easily simulate requests through a browser. We see a complete HTML page. As discussed in theory, the request was submitted and the XML was converted to HTML by an XSLT style sheet. An interactive test facility is provided for each function in the admin client. We can work here better than in the URL input field of the browser. We log in as an administrator. A test page is provided for each function in searchxml. Here the behavior of the function can be checked under different sessions. Any parameters can also be passed to the request. The result will be output as an XML document. Below an element with the name response are elements that describe the request itself. Request parameters, response parameters, session data, etc. The actual output of the function begins below the element function response. In this case, we receive information about configuration files, modules, services, the HTTP servers, and the active presentation service. In the last example, we show the integration of the searchxml SOAP interface into a C# program. We call the corresponding C# wizard for a console application. We add the reference to a web service. The server name localhost may to be replaced by the address of the searchxml server. We add some variables for domain name preferences and logon data. Next, we instantiate the SOAP client. We embed the following code into an exception handling. We log on to the server. The return value is the session ID or an error, which we evaluate. We create the parameters for the intended function call. We call the function getConfig and pass it the parameter list. After a successful call, we return the result. Finally, we log out. We compile the program and run it. The output corresponds to what we have seen in the test environment. And that's it for now. Thank you for your interest. For a deeper insight view, please also watch the other tutorials. Stay in touch on our mailing list at www.searchxml.net, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We regularly publish interesting tutorials on searchxml. See you soon.